People knew him as Baretta and for In Cold Blood, but arguably actor Robert Blake's highest-profile role was that of defendant. Here's how he ended up being declared not guilty in a trial that captivated the country. In 2001, Blake entered the headlines for reasons that had nothing to do with his acting career. The film and TV star was charged with the murder of his second wife, Bonnie Lee Bakley. On May 4th of that year, Blake and Bakley had dinner at an Italian restaurant in Studio City, California. As the couple walked back to their car, Blake realized he'd left his revolver in the restaurant. He went back inside to get it. He claimed that when he got back to his vehicle, he discovered Bakley bleeding from a gunshot wound to her head. Blake called for assistance, but Bakley died from the wound. Investigators found an unregistered handgun in a dumpster near the incident, and it was identified as the weapon that fired the shots that killed Bakley. Blake insisted that he had nothing to do with his wife's death, but almost a year after the incident, the actor was charged with her murder. According to LAPD Online, investigators examined approximately 900 pieces of evidence in connection to Bakley's death before arresting Blake. Blake's bodyguard Earl Caldwell was also arrested for conspiring to kill Bakley. Blake was charged with 1 count of murder with special circumstances and 2 counts of solicitation of murder. He pleaded not guilty to the charges. Blake's trial began in December 2004. 2 stuntmen testified, claiming that Blake offered them money to kill Bakley, ABC News reported. The prosecution alleged that Blake then decided to carry out the murder himself. The defense argued that Blake couldn't have killed Bakley because he had no gunshot residue on his hands. Blake's attorney, Jerry Schwartzbach, told ABC News, "Bonnie was shot twice. Robert had no gunshot residue on him. The conclusion is he never fired that weapon." After 12 weeks, Blake's trial ended with his acquittal.
We, the jury in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Robert Blake, not guilty of the crime of first-degree murder of Bonnie Lee Bakley.
The jury deliberated for 9 days before coming to its decision. According to the jurors, they did not believe the statements of the 2 stuntmen who testified that they were asked to commit the murder, so they cleared Blake on the solicitation charges. The defense was able to poke holes in the witnesses' credibility, as they both admitted to using drugs that could have caused delusions. On the charge of murder, Blake was acquitted because there was no forensic evidence that could prove that he was the one who fired the gun that killed Bakley. Furthermore, there were no witnesses who could say that Blake was near his vehicle when Bakley was shot. In the end, the prosecution just wasn't able to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that Blake was behind the crime. Blake's civil trial is a whole different story, though. Bakley's 4 children, Glenn Paul Gowron, Holly Lee Gowron, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Rose Lenore Sophia Blake, had filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the actor in Los Angeles County Superior Court in 2002, the LA Times reported. The burden of proof in civil proceedings is different. While criminal trials require a unanimous decision from the jury and have a beyond-the-shadow-of-a-doubt benchmark of proof, civil trials are a bit more flexible. Civil cases only require a burden of proof based on preponderance of the evidence. They also may or may not, as a judge determines, use a jury at all. And if they do use a jury, a unanimous decision isn't necessary, just a majority. And so it was that Blake's civil trial, which ended in 2005, didn't go in his favor. He lost the suit by a jury vote of 10-2, and the court ordered him to pay $30 million to Bakley's children. Blake appealed the decision, which cut the sum in half to $15 million, according to Reuters. Even so, he was forced to declare bankruptcy in 2006 as a result. Blake maintained his innocence the rest of his life.
Everybody wants to put me on the stand because I didn't take the stand.
He died on March 9, 2023 at the age of 89. His family said the cause was long-term heart disease.